I often struggle with self-hatred myself for as long as I can remember. And, I'd always continuously think about how I fail at different things or how I'm not good enough, how I'm really just a piece of waste. And I want to share with you some journal entries that I wrote down. Here I wrote, I feel like a failure, inadequate, inferior, redundant, common, not needed, average, nothing special. I'm no different than others. I don't stand out. I fail in social settings. I'm not as disciplined as I think when compared to others. My faith in God is weak. I have no status or assets or even just key skills to make me stand out. I remember that time I was comparing myself a lot to others, and that's what you get, right? Here's another entry. I just feel like a failure. I fail to be there for others. When opportunities arise, I back down. I don't know if these negative thoughts are true or lies from Lucy. Maybe people really would be better off without me. I just don't know. I lie awake, my breathing press. I just feel like a failure. There's some of these thoughts that I can easily slip into at times, but I want to share with you some things that I started doing in this past year that helped me fight these type of thoughts. Look, the more you think negatively, the stronger the flesh gets. It's training. If you train your mind to be negative, it's gonna be negative. So knowing this, you're gonna have to stop thinking negatively about yourself and the world. There are 1,402 tools for this, but I don't want to overwhelm you, so we're just gonna talk about 3. First, labeling emotions. This can help neutralize negative thoughts. So when one comes in, just name them. That's shame. That's comparison. That's a limiting a belief. That's a pink hippo. Next, see these thoughts as electrical impulses, flickering here and then gone in the next moments. These thoughts and emotions are just temporary, so just notice them and then move on. If you give them no time to settle, then they'll just float away like an eagle, alright? So you have to remember, the more you think negatively, the stronger your flesh gets. Lastly, depersonalize. Don't think, I feel ashamed, but instead think, there's shame being felt. This helps to detach the self from this negativity. It helps you avoid berating and hating yourself. So now that we've learned to stop thinking negatively, we need to start thinking positively. I'm gonna say this again. The more we think negatively, the stronger the flesh gets. So right now, we're gonna need to start thinking more positively. This can be done with the use of gratitude. Look, I've talked about gratitude journaling a long time ago, but I fell off the habit. It was only recently where I started making gratitude a main habit again. Literally just as important as exercise and Bible reading. Like, take that in for a second. Look, it only takes us a few days before we forget all the good things that God has done for us. We're just like the complaining Israelites after the Exodus, just whining about the meaty quails. Look, it's easier for us to focus on all those bad things, so we need to start memorializing the good things. This is why we must cultivate gratitude and constantly remember and remind ourselves what God has done for us in the past. Hashtag stack some rocks. I recently made a new section in my journal that highlights all the good things in life. And I also go back from time to time to old entries to highlight and star those good moments just to remember them better. Every day we should be spending some time in gratitude where we seriously think about and reflect on what happened in the day that we could be grateful for. Maybe it was like a really fun social with some friends. Or maybe you had the most scrumptious meal that you got to eat. Or maybe it's just the amount of work that you were able to get done. Or how quickly the poo came out of your butt cheeks. Yo! Sit and think until you can come up with something that you're grateful for, and don't be stubborn about it. Like I said before, this is a very, very important habit for improving our self-esteem, our positive outlook in life. So at this point, we've learned how to stop our negative thoughts and how to be more grateful. But we still might have negative thoughts about ourselves. So now we will need to look back at times where we were complimented by people and when we did great things. If we always think that we're a failure, then we're gonna forget all of our achievements and the times where we did overcome challenges. If we think that we're unloved and useless, then we're gonna forget the times where we did have an impact on someone else. You're just gonna feel like a failure, unloved, unworthy. And the thing is, you are what you think you are. That is one of the most important concepts that I can tell you in this video. That if you think that you're a bum, chances are you're gonna be a bum. If you believe that your situation is crappy, then it's gonna stay crappy. You're not gonna find ways to improve it. Right now, I want you to join me in an activity. I want you to look around the room and identify as many blue objects as you can. Like seriously, take a moment, look around wherever you are, and identify as many blue objects. I'll give you a few moments. Now, I want you to tell me what objects were red. And you're probably not going to be able to say that many things, if anything at all. That activity demonstrates that the mind focuses only on just one or a few things and filters out the rest. In a social situation, for example, one negative thing may overshadow everything else that was good. This is why you need to make more of an effort to remember the good moments where you did do good, where you did succeed, where you were loved, where you weren't scared. You have to think about these and think of yourself in this lens. And if you do this enough, it's going to change your self-image and boost your self-esteem. Lastly, when we go through times where there's not much good in life and we start to hate ourselves, hate our life, we need to remember to always praise God no matter what. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that our temporary thoughts, they're just that, they're temporary, they're untrue. And what is true is God. He is always faithful, He's always the same, and His love endures forever. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7 says that love always trusts, hopes, and perseveres. Our love for God needs to always trust, hope, and persevere, even in those valleys. Starting to write that on your wall. And that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed and learned a thing or two. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. But if you want to deal with negative self-talk and limiting beliefs, you're not going to want to miss this video. But that's it from me. Just remember, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. So please, kill the flesh.